Beautiful November morning. It's November already. That's so strange. Soon Christmas. And everything is just flying by. Time is flying. At least I feel like that because there are never enough time to do what you want to do. So that's where we are. But where are we in the course? Starting with Diego, you have assessed all assignments?
Yeah, assignment 1 complete.
Yep.
This week, between Monday and Tuesday. I think everybody received the comments.
Great. So, what is the result? You mentioned earlier that many passed, some have. Yeah. What's the verdict?
Many have passed both parts. There are a few who have to change some parts in the code, like 4 or 5 people, and I think that 2 of them only a very minor part. And then there are a couple who did not submit the report or I couldn't open. So this, but in general, quite good.
And I can see that you all have gotten feedback on GitLab. So it's just to follow protocol there. And do we have a set deadline for making the complementary work?
I think it was set in the beginning of the course, and it was not this weekend, the next one. So 10 days from now.
So 10 days from now.
If the extension, we can wait 15 days.
Yeah, and that date is the same as, I guess, the re-examination, right? Let's see. We have a deadline the 10th. No, that's for me and Mats. Do we know if we have this? It should say somewhere.
Yeah, and time edit. The 10th.
Yeah, the 10th of November is the deadline for the second attempt on that assignment, and that's the same as the complementary deadline then. Great. Is there anything more to say about assignment 1 then? Not really. No. Then moving along with this part, we are in the orchestration part of the course right now with Kubernetes in 2 parts, 2-part exercise basically before we are starting on assignment 2. But basically the second part, I can actually share my screen. I think it's more convenient. Let's see. We are in the orchestration part. There are theory and demos, and these are Morgan's demos. And this one is that is the instructions for installing Minikube that we use locally for development, basically, that you get a cluster locally on your machine. And if you go down a bit, we have 2 demos that we recorded last year. It's the first demo using Minikube, Scaffold, and Kubernetes. That one is connected to the first exercise. And then we have Kubernetes in CS Cloud, and that one is connected to the second exercise. I'm working on this together with Mats right now. Mats has done a super job in making the infrastructure for this, creating all the machines in the cloud, creating the Kubernetes cluster, a jump host, setting up load balancers and stuff. So you will not have to think about that this year because that was a headache last year. So now you just have a infrastructure project using Terraform that you can and Cloud Init that you can use to get the cluster up and down, and it will map a lot of IP addresses and do all the dirty stuff. so we can focus.
I might add a Dampos proxy as well.
Yeah, because as we are right now, there might be a need for a proxy, basically. But we can focus on this one right now in development. So the goal is to get your project, the Just Task It project, up and working in Kubernetes locally, so you can develop against it locally. And this one basically follows the same path as last year, so everything should be good here. You are using Scaffold, you are using MongoDB. What I did basically was just following along in the instructions, installing Minikube and installed Scaffold, and then I did a Scaffold init, I think it is. Then you will get a Scaffold file. You can also look at it in the demo. I wouldn't copy the instructions from last year. I would rerun the Scaffold init and use your Docker Compose files as a template for that. So Scaffold will look in the Docker Compose files, and then it will set up the Kubernetes files. It will set up Scaffold from the same place that you had in Docker Compose. So if Docker Compose works, it should work in Scaffold as well. But there are new versions of Scaffold since last year, and I got everything worked perfectly with a newer version. So it shouldn't be a problem there, hopefully. Well, something will probably be a problem, but just follow along. Make sure there are some, so I basically need to redo this, I think, because we have this demo exercise. It's deprecated now. No, where is it? Docker Compose. Oh, I thought I linked it here. I did not. Let's go to GitLab. 2DV013 examples. So in this Just Task It Kubernetes, the deprecated one, there are some more detailed instructions, I think, in the application part. Where did those hide? Yeah, so you can follow along. These are the more detailed instructions of what you need to do. You need to install Scaffold, you need to install Minikube, you need to start Minikube, you need to add an ingress or enable an ingress add-on for Minikube, and you need to do some set some environment variables. I think you need to do this one, and then you start everything by doing Scaffold dev. This is often not a problem. What tends to sometimes be a problem is that you need to start a Minikube tunnel on your machine. And when you do this, at least on Mac OS, you will have to write your password acknowledging that Minikube is using a privileged ports, and that is port 80 and port 443. So you need to make sure to just watch out in the terminal, and you will be prompted for password. Then you write your password, and then you should be able to visit localhost without any ports. So port 80 in localhost will then map to the ingress server, ingress in the cluster, and the ingress in its turn will map through to a port on the pods that are running inside of Minikube. But it's a lot of ports, and you can always have a look in the Kubernetes files that we have here if you want to see how you can set it up. I have made some changes, and I hope to get it out today in the new project that is called we can't see it here, but it's called something like Kuberneterized web application. So when we get that out, you can have a look at those files, and then you will find both Scaffold files and Kubernetes files that is needed to run this locally. And hopefully I will not have to change that when we then put it in production. That is the whole plan. But I need to get it to work in production before I can say that nothing needs to change. There are a lot of ports involved. We have, and I think we talk about that in one of those. I think it's this one, where we have, if I don't remember wrong, I did remember wrong. Because I thought we had a schematic of everything.
I think it was in the start of the video.
Yeah, but that's only.
Well,
Please
that
cloud.
wasn't what you were talking about.
No, maybe it's here actually. Let's see, where is it? It's not there. Was it even on the? Oh yeah. I will try to find it. Anyhow, that is what we are supposed to work with this week, the development part and also the production part, so we can start assignment 2 kind of next week, because the production part and assignment 2 is heavily linked. But we will introduce the assignment next week. That's the plan, at least.
Well, we can just say that and we expect less friction this year.
Less friction, yes, because last year was a lot of friction, but there are still some question marks to fix, and the problem is that I basically we don't work with this more than in this course, and then you forget everything. So now I'm just like trying to recap and see, I remember this from last year. That was a problem.
But the sorry part, we should work with these things continuously.
To
generate machines and whatever.
Yeah. We will probably have to shift focus and do this more, and maybe make sure to have all our other assignments in other courses running in a Kubernetes cluster instead. Then we need to kind of practice as we go, I think. Well, that is it. Other than that, I don't think it's much this week. It's the last week of the study period, so I guess that you have some examinations to do in the parallel course. We have a lot of examinations, at least me and Mats. We have 2 full days of, like, what did we say? Almost 70.
88, I think.
Was it 88?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oral hearings, so that's a lot. So we will be kind of offline Thursday, Friday, and back Monday, because we will have a minute by minute planning for Thursday and Friday, just so you know. But I will work a lot, only work with this course today. So if there are any questions, show up at the workshop this afternoon at 1, then we can look at that.
Well, it wasn't 80 plus.
No, it was 69. Yeah, 69, 70. Yeah. Great. Anything to add, Diego?
Everything fine.
Great. Then we will see you maybe at the workshop this afternoon. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.